Good evening.
Good evening.
I'm Sergeant Jack Yager with VIPS. We had a lot better month than we did last month. For the totals, we had 2 call-outs, 2 hours call-out, 5 hours detail, 8 hours patrol, 7 hours miscellaneous, and a total of 22 hours. That included 2 details, 3 details, and 1 call-out PD accident. And I'd like to report I have an application that came in, and it's going through the process right now.
Great.
Wonderful.
Very good.
So, how did you round that guy up?
With a bat.
Actually, we went to church. We met him at the Christmas concert at Faith Church. He does security over there. And he showed an interest, and we gave him an application.
Wonderful.
Wonderful.
As always, thank you for your time and everybody for volunteering.
Okay?
Thanks
Thank
for
you.
filling in, Jack.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Police Department.
Yes. Let's see, first, our communications, we had, there were 2, the SWAT activation, and there was a death investigation, which are in the packet. If you need specifics on that, everything's spelled out in there. And also included in the packet is the finance report. If you have any questions on that, oh, I'm sorry. Okay.
You want him to move on to finances?
Okay, if there's no questions, you got any questions?
Anything for the public should know about these public releases? Any details from these 2 press
No,
releases?
we was at, finances.
Okay, I was not done with the
Okay.
communications. I'm wondering if there's any specifics he wants to relay for the public's consumption?
They were press releases. and
Okay.
It was already released to them. If any of the board members have any specific questions about each one, I think everything's spelled out in the packet. Pretty good if you want to see details on them.
I think what Dave wanted was just for the public's benefit to give a little scenario on what they were.
Sure.
Since I wrote the press releases and it was before the chief was here, I'll take the role of that. Press releases were pretty specific without releasing too much information. And on March 10th, just up the hill over here, we had a SWAT call out for an individual. This was all based on a court order. It wasn't based on any crimes that were committed or warrants in that respect. It was a medical type situation with a court order. Just to be on the safe side, since the individual did not comply and come out, SWAT was activated so the negotiators could get him out, which we did peacefully. So that was that particular call out. The SWAT press release was done on that one. March 11th, about 6 o'clock in the morning or 6:40 in the morning, in the 10100 block of 129th Avenue, 2 ladies that were walking discovered a deceased individual, elderly female, who was just off the sidewalk in a ditch. And ultimately, in the beginning of all of this, we didn't know who she was or where she lived. Coroner's office, well, she was transferred to the hospital, but unfortunately was deceased. Coroner's office worked with Detective McDowell so that we could determine her ID and where she lived. She lived nearby in the subdivision across the street. I didn't release any details in the press release, and I'm not comfortable with doing that even now because of the circumstances of this case. Anyway, it was determined that there was no reason to believe there was any foul play in this. We made contact with the family immediately, covered all of our bases, and ultimately the coroner was quickly to determine the cause of death in an unofficial capacity, which again revealed no foul play or reason for concern in that investigation. Those were the 2 that went out.
Thank your staff for the good work that they do. Appreciate that.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, we'll go back to, any questions on, finances?
Any grants lately or applications in for grants?
Nothing new right at the moment.
Okay,
We're looking at some things, but there was nothing new to report.
thank you.
Okay, we'll go to number 5, staffing.
On Tuesday, myself and new officer Lukasik will be sworn in and at the town meeting, and I would like to invite all the board members to that.
That's this coming
Yes.
meeting?
April 1st.
I'll make a note.
April 1st.
Number 6, training report.
Okay. Yeah, for February, we had several training classes. We had one officer attend a firearms instruction, one officer attend the NASRO. That's that's school resource officer training. We had one officer attend crisis negotiator training. And then we sent one officer for major crimes investigation and interviewing course. One for SWAT, one for, for field sobriety testing. Instructor, I should say. And then there was one for a leadership, or two for a leadership class.
Any questions?
Yeah, what was that leadership class about?
I don't have the details on it myself.
Who went to?
We had Sean Meyer and Corporal Pennington both went. It was a local class at Hobart. It was just a single day, so it couldn't have been a real depth type of course, but probably some basic leadership. I could get the details on it, but
Thank you.
yeah, thank you.
Okay, number 7, equipment.
If you want to do that.
Again, since I've been dealing with the vehicles and the updates on them and everything, there has been a little bit of a delay, not in the production or building of the vehicles, just on the delivery part. As of right now, we're waiting on one vehicle to be delivered to the dealership. That way they can all 4 be transported out to the outfitter. But we're also still waiting on some equipment to come in anyway, so in reality, they wouldn't, nothing would start on them anyway. It seems like, lead times on stuff is still just all over the place on equipment parts,
We're ahead from last year, though.
We're way ahead from last year, and I believe at the end of the day, we'll still be on track with, getting them a lot sooner. So that's the new vehicles.
Questions?
Are we applying for any vehicles this year, or are we taking policemen, or
I'm sorry?
are we getting more vehicles this year, 2025?
This
or
is this
for
year.
26, I mean?
It would probably be too early in the game for that.
Okay.
Certainly, we want to try and stay on the rotation.
And does the budget allow us for a new police officer, or?
Not
This year we didn't get, there was nothing this year.
No, we ended up taking, that officer and not, hiring it so we could give the money to all the other officers
And so what are our plans for
and fire.
next year then? We don't know yet until the budget gets
Right.
discussed. Okay.
Okay, number 8, monthly activity reports.
For calls of service for February, we had 751 calls for service. We had 375 traffic stops. And of those, there were 337 warnings issued. And there were 122 citations issued. Law incident analysis, there were 366. We had 20 arrests, and of those 20 arrests, there were 23 arrest offenses, so that means there were multiple charges filed in some of those. For town ordinances, we had 24 warnings issued, and we had 40 citations issued as far as ordinances go. And that's our report for February.
Okay, Lexipol, how are we doing on that?
Mr. Chairman, if I could go back
Go ahead.
one step, it's not on your agenda, but under equipment.
Sure.
And again, this was in the process in February before the chief came in. I wanted to mention under vehicles, we have a 2018 Ford Taurus, that was, a spare car for us, actually. So I was able to take that Taurus and give it to the VIPS unit. They're obviously in need of vehicles, any way you look at it. We just auctioned off one of the Explorers that they had because it was just completely, outside of its use to us and had problems.
So how did that auction work? Did anybody buy it?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
GovDeals.com is fabulous. It's used all across the country by government entities. And quite frankly, you put it on there, it's gonna sell. But we actually did better than I thought it would, because that vehicle actually had to be towed away. That's the kind of shape it was in.
Really? That's good.
The company that bought it just sends a courier out here with a flatbed and they pick it up, so.
Wow.
Yeah, so the 2018 Ford Taurus, it's in good shape, it's an all-wheel drive vehicle, so that's another reason I wanted them to have it. So it's been stripped down, that jet, put some elbow grease into the decal removal process after I removed some equipment, and we'll have some VIPS decals put on it, it'll be in service for them.
Great.
So, and in addition to that, we're going to have on Tuesday night's council agenda, I'm requesting 3 more vehicles to auction, just to get rid of a lot of, with these new vehicles coming in, we're just moving everything down the chain. And the 3 vehicles that we want to auction are the oldest vehicles in the fleet. 2 of them have been pool cars for a number of years. We're just gonna send those to auction as well.
Glad it's working out.
It is.
And what car did you give to the chief?
Chief is in the only unmarked car we had at the time, it's a Ford Taurus, all-wheel drive Ford Taurus. It's all black, it's an unmarked car.
Okay.
I had heard you volunteered yours.
I did.
I was teasing you.
But I told him if he keeps his, I'll wash and wax it for him, so.
It's due.
Great.
Thank you for letting me talk about that.
So then we'll go to Lexipol. How's that going along? Have they been,
I think Lexipol's great to have that. No, it keeps our policies updated. I'm very familiar with Lexipol.
Well, that's good. I didn't know if you would be or not.
Yeah, I was at my previous position, I was the Lexipol.
The county uses Lexipol?
Well, they haven't adopted it yet. There was so much. It's still sitting, waiting for final approval. But it took a little over a year just to meet with experts within our department to finalize all our policy. And it's ready, it's just waiting for approval.
So have they been, Lexipol been forwarding us updates lately?
Well, we don't have it right now. There was a year, my understanding is that they no longer have Lexipol.
Well, we reinstated it.
Yeah, so
Yes.
I can give you that update. So we contacted Lexipol, we got the contract back from them with the prices that we gave to you that you approved. It's a very short 3-page contract. We submitted it to the clerk treasurer, who advised that the last contract was approved and signed by the town council president. So we had it on the agenda for the last meeting. It was an agenda item. They were provided with it, and it was, they tabled it because they wanted the chief to look at it first, which he had done, and he has done. So we put it back on the agenda for Tuesday night, hoping that it'll get signed and approved, so that we can activate it again. Because we're definitely gonna have updates, definitely. We have some internal updates we wanna push through.
Well, just to reply to the council, the safety board approved that, and we're in charge of setting policy. So,
I will vote to approve that, so. And so I sure Chuck will too.
Same with the fire department, we do the same thing.
So once the council approves the contract and it takes effect, how long before we get together for a policy review? You think it'll be 2 weeks, a month?
Well, the activation and getting back into it should be almost instantaneous. How long it's going to take them to push through some updates, I really can't. I would hope within a couple of weeks. I would hope that we could probably actually get together before the next board meeting, you know, and look at some updates.
I'm afraid we're gonna be bombarded.
Well, I suspect we might be, but we can at least look through what's important and what's not.
Okay.
You know, the updates that we want to push through aren't important. They're just things we want to do moving forward internally, so. And legal updates don't typically come out till July, so we don't have to worry about that yet. There won't be any law changes or anything like that until July 1st.
Okay, we'll be waiting to hear from you about that.
Thank you. Paul, do you have anything under 10 for other?
No, we don't.
Okay,
I have something.
go ahead.
Since we didn't have a car inspection last year, can we get one definitely this year?
Oh, yes, we can do that.
Appreciate it. And even if the officer can't be there, maybe the car should be there without him.
We can work through that.
We appreciate it, because we didn't get no with the glove test last year.
Oh,
Yeah, it would be our desire to actually get it put together and try and take another panoramic photo as well. We tried to do that last year and everything just kept falling apart.
Right. Appreciate it.
Okay, thank you. We'll move on to the fire department, communications.
We have no written communications at this time.
Okay, we have, finances, purchase orders, number 12.
No grants at this time, and purchase orders you have in front of you if there's any questions.
Do you have any questions?
Yeah, I do. On February, we bought T-shirts for somebody. Do we always buy 5 T-shirts?
Excuse me, what'd you say?
There's for Adam,
T-shirts?
T-shirts.
Yeah, those are duty shirts for.
Do we always buy that many? 5?
Well, they're for 5 different people, so.
Oh, I took it that they were all for the one person.
No. They're from different
Sorry.
people. Yeah.
I mean, it just says Adam Nemeth.
He owns the company.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Any other questions? Motion to approve,
I'll make that motion.
second?
Are we making a motion for February and March, or just for February at this point?
February.
I'll second.
Roll call vote, please.
Ms. Little?
Yes.
Mr. Nagy?
Yes.
Mr. Villalobos?
Yes.
Mr. Caper?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Stick?
Yes. Okay, before we go any farther, we need to amend the agenda and, to pay for, the clerk treasurer's office, sent me a, text and asked me if we would, approve, the repair on 1262.
Yeah.
So can we have a, motion to amend the agenda?
So moved.
Second?
Who made the motion?
Well, both of them did. I didn't hear, I couldn't call it.
Larry will take the first, I'll take the second.
Okay. Okay, so then, a motion to, pay the bill for the repairs.
No, you're amending the agenda first.
Oh, I'm sorry, I jumped at, roll call vote, please.
Ms. Little?
Yes.
Mr. Nagy?
Yes.
Mr. Villalobos?
Yes.
Mr. Caper?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Stick?
Yes, thank you. All right, now I won't get ahead of myself. A motion to, pay for the, which insurance covered, pay the bill, for the repairs on ambulance 1262.
I'll make that motion.
Second?
I'll second it.
Mr. Chairman, under question, can I
Sure.
make a comment? The clerk treasurer, informed me that the insurance money will be put into the fire department's budget, so this will come out of our budget, our line item budget, and they do have the check, and it will be transferred back in the fire department's budget.
And
That's why they wanted us
it
to
was all explained to
get it
them.
going now.
It was all explained to them.
Okay, I didn't know that.
The amount is $11,009.61.
A motion to,
So moved.
second?
I thought Barb made a motion. and
Okay,
Larry-
second?
I second it.
Okay, thank you. Too many questions. Roll
I
call
lost
vote,
track
please.
there. Thanks, Bob.
Ms. Little?
Yes.
Mr. Nagy?
Yes.
Mr. Villalobos?
Yes.
Mr. Caper?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Stick?
Yes, thank you.
Did you have a question on March's?
No, so that was, no, I did not.
Okay.
We're gonna approve Marches now. We approved February, we approved the ambulance repair.
That was all we've got on,
Now we're going to Marches?
We don't approve marching.
Okay, all right.
we only did the ambulance to get it in.
Okay, I see this here. I'm wondering about this.
March isn't over.
Mr. President?
This is what secured so far.
Okay, so that's very good. That's what I need to know. Thank you.
What about the other one you were talking about the garage doors? Garage door opener?
Okay, we can do that too.
We have to add that to the agenda, but trustees.
Yes, so,
Another amendment.
might as well get it all done at once. A motion, okay, this is about, replacing the garage doors in the ambulance bay, or not the doors, the operators. And there's damage to one panel, I think that's on the same bid?
No, it's not
Okay,
separate.
so that's already taken care of.
Yes,
So-
there's already a PO for that.
Okay,
and it's an emergency.
So do you have to amend the agenda again?
Yes, I guess so.
Yes.
And
So be it.
what is the equipment we're going to be approving?
$5,710.
There,
Okay, I see it.
there's ongoing issues with the operators in the ambulance bay.
But I do have a question, Todd. There's one for $5,710 and one for $1,025. Is that for the same project?
Yep, that's the panel that we have to replace.
But that's on, that's a separate,
That's already been ordered, and those parts will be in Friday.
so all this has to do with is just the new
openers.
operators.
Yeah, just the operators.
Okay, so amend the agenda. I make the motion to amend the agenda to approve, door repair operator purchase.
Second,
I will.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Larry.
Oh, okay.
roll call vote?
Ms. Little?
Yes.
Mr. Nagy?
Yes.
Mr. Villalobos?
Yes.
Mr. Caper?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Stick?
Yes. Now, a motion to approve, replacing the operators, from Higgins, what was that? What was it?
$5,710.
From,
$5,710. That comes out of what department, are you taking it out of?
Facilities.
the amount's $5,710.
Plus the other amount?
No, the other amount's something else.
No, the remote. There should be one for the remote, too.
No, it was added in.
That's already been ordered.
Is that?
It's been
the
added
remote's
to
part of the
Higgins'
original
original
bid,
estimate.
Todd,
Excuse me?
are the remotes part of the whole bid?
The $5,700 includes the remotes and the openers.
Okay,
The $1,300 is the panel that we ordered already
correct,
to be replaced because we had to get that.
right, but that, yeah,
I'm
okay,
asking for approval to
for the
get the
operator.
new openers because it's a new purchase order. It's a new purchase, not,
For the
repair.
$5,710.
yes.
So a, motion to, recommend, replacing the door operators.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
Roll call vote, please.
Ms. Little?
Yes.
Mr. Nagy?
Yes.
Mr. Villalobos?
Yes.
Mr. Caper?
Yes, ma'am.
Uh,
Mr. Stick?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay, under 13, Chief, would you like to talk about A, please?
We have to rescind a potential offer to Sam Aurelio. His certifications did not switch over from Illinois to Indiana to meet the Indiana standard. He would have to go through the fire academy, and he's currently in paramedic school at the same time, so there's no possible way he could do both at the same time. This would be the 16th, he would have been the 16th hire for the fire department, which puts us at the maximum allotted by our budget and approved by the council.
So we have a motion to approve rescinding the offer of full-time employment to Sam Aurelio. Do we have a second?
Who made the motion?
I did.
I'll second that.
Roll call vote, please.
Ms. Little?
Yes.
Mr. Nagy?
Yes.
Mr. Villalobos?
Yes.
Mr. Caper?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Stick?
Yes. Cheryl, would you please do a letter and I'll sign this?
Sure.
Thank you. Okay, Chief, would you like to handle B?
Sure. I'm asking the commission tonight to approve the rehire of Jose Begarin. Jose was interviewed today by the Board of Safety. He had left to go to Michigan City and is requesting to come back to Cedar Lake.
Motion to approve.
Sure.
Pardon, your question?
Yes. Sure. The motion to approve the rehires stipulating that he must sign a new,
Yeah.
Concur.
And this is a recommendation to the town council?
Yes, sir.
I'm sorry, go ahead and finish.
Do we have a second on that?
I'll second that.
Roll call vote, please.
Ms. Little?
Yes.
Mr. Nagy?
yes?
Mr. Villalobos?
Yes.
Mr. Caper?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Stick?
Yes, thank you.
Charlie, did you?
And would you prepare that letter also? Thank you. Okay,
Could that be put on the council agenda, please?
Yeah, I'll let Monica know.
Okay, thank you.
number 14, training report.
You'll see within your packet the February training report, a total of 179 hours. 2 graphs, breakdown by hours and breakdown by categories.
Any questions?
All non-mandatory training has been ceased, just to let you know.
Okay, number 15, equipment.
Currently, we've gotten our ambulance back that was damaged by the light pole, and the semi truck took it out. Fire service repaired it. They had it 2 weeks and came back. They did a beautiful job on it. Looks really nice. So it is back in service. We got it Monday, and so that's back in service. We met with the town mechanic. We finally got our chance to go sit down and talk to him. He is currently scheduling our apparatus or our units to be serviced. In fact, the unit that came back, 1262, was due for servicing, so we had it serviced today. We're talking about grease, oil, and filters, stuff like that, fluids. And then the other equipment that doesn't require, J&M, the bigger apparatus is not going to be serviced by the town mechanic because he's not able to do that. Currently, the ladder truck, we're waiting for a quote. They haven't gotten a chance to actually go through it completely. The Underwriters Laboratories came out to do a test on the ladder, found a few issues with the ladder. So we're waiting on a quote from Legacy to give us a price on what it's going to cost to make whatever repairs after the inspection is done needed to the ladder to get it back in service.
So
Right,
Chief, you
and
said
that's
all,
right now, that's on. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
all 3 ambulances are up and
All
running, back
three
in service?
ambulances are back in service, yeah.
The ladder truck is out of service at this
It's out
time?
of service right now, yes.
And we don't know how long that's gonna take?
No, we don't.
And all the other equipment we have is in service? Or is that anything else down?
No, currently everything is in service, yes.
Okay, very good, thank you.
Did you replace the battery on the UTV?
I didn't hear what,
Replace the battery for the UTV?
oh, yeah, there was a battery that, yeah, it needed a battery, yeah.
Did they, UL say what was with the
Well,
letter?
they found a pin that was bent on the, turntable, not the turntable, but the, where the ladder attaches to the actual turntable. They found a bent pin, so they're gonna have to replace that. We'll probably have to have them both replaced. That was one of the things, but there was a few cracks, in the paint, which they found, they wanna make sure it's not in the metal, so they're gonna have to do some work. This happened to our last ladder truck too. We had to have some work. It's an old truck, so you gotta keep up with those things. That's why we have it tested every single year.
I have a question on the new engine. What's the progress on that?
September?
This September?
We just went through equipment list. Chief Monger just finalized the equipment list. We changed a couple things because we desperately need hose. So we swapped out some stuff for hose instead of doing something different on a truck, but just minor.
How old is that ladder truck, chief?
13,
2009, so, yeah, 14.
14 years old, 2009.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Number 16, monthly activity.
We're averaging almost 6 calls a day, 162 calls for February. Lift assist was mentioned earlier, wasn't mentioned earlier, but we did have a discussion about lift assist, and I'd like to just kind of make a little bit of a public announcement about the lift assist. We get a lot of lift assist in our community, and we hope that people continue to call us if they need help, but if they can, the caregivers are very important in this particular case, so we do have a few people that call us a lot, and we are having discussions with them and to try to limit the calls as far as lift assist are concerned. But every single community around us runs a lot of lift assist. So we kind of compared notes, and it's not just in Cedar Lake, it's everywhere.
Is that all for 16?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and we went through the Lexipol policy, so that
Yeah, we're ready to
the
go.
same thing, so,
I got a question with that.
pardon me?
The Lexipol policy? I got a question. No, I thought the fire didn't cancel theirs.
No, we did, we were in the process of canceling it, but we didn't, and all we have to do is we had to renew it, so that's what we did.
So is it gonna be at the discounted price, or they're paying the same price it was last year?
No, we got the same deal that the police department got, is what I was told.
Larry, have a question?
Chuck handled it.
Okay. 18, is there anything under other?
Going back to Lexipol, we also have the training program, so we didn't, ours might be a little different than the police. 18 under other, we talked about the damage to the ambulance bay, front end repairs to the white Ford. We had some work that we needed to do to the old ambulance 1263. And then the Ford had some issues with the body mounts that were just, the body mounts on the actual ambulance was rotting out. So we had them replaced because we thought we had more problems than that, so that was fixed.
Excuse me.
Nick, you had mentioned that the wheel bearings were loose.
No, wheel bearings were hollering, they need to be replaced.
Okay, didn't we just do a $2,000 brake job on that truck?
I'd have to look at the records, I don't know which ambulance it was.
Yeah.
Did all?
That's all.
Okay, and we talked about, the door replacement, the panel, and we just talked about B, the front end to the white Ford. So, pardon me?
I have something.
Go ahead.
I don't know what our board feels like, but since we inspect police cars, maybe we should inspect fire equipment also.
Definitely.
Probably wouldn't hurt to have an extra set of eyeballs.
So can we set something up?
I'm gonna have to, have guys spend a lot of time detailing fire apparatus, and that's gonna
They
put
can,
They don't,
excuse me,
they can do that well instead of watching TV.
well,
yeah, that's what we do all the time.
okay.
You don't do nothing.
I think it's just a general inspection to
Yeah, I'm not
See
saying
what
they're
you
gonna
got.
polish it.
Well, I know the police cars, they detail them to the T. Our fire apparatus is a lot more harder to detail than
Well, I think we just want to.
absolutely. You know what, I've invited you guys down many times to come and look at our trucks and council, and
You
you
still
guys are
owe us,
always are welcome to do that.
you still owe us pork chops.
And yes. I'll
Just
make you
saying.
one pork chop, you guys gotta fight over it.
That was plural, pork chops.
Oh,
All right. Yeah, just, we could possibly.
whenever you guys name the date and give a little
I'll be
time,
there
we'll
Monday
do it.
morning, 9 o'clock.
All right.
How's that?
Well, I think we all need to.
Providing we're not on a elliptic.
Maybe we could, just, do it the same day, schedule it for the same day we do with the police department, and just kinda
That's too.
gravitate from here over there and see how that works. I mean, it's just a tentative, but just.
Maybe Carl will be willing to take his drone and take some pictures of our stuff too, I'd like to do that. But if you do that, I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Number 19, town council liaison reports.
All right, it's not really a report, but some information I'm going to give to you and anybody in the audience. I substituted for Nick Recupero at Lake County Solid Waste last Thursday night. And I had been on Lake County Solid Waste for about a year because I attended Porter County, and they recycle ink cartridges. And so in attending that meeting last Thursday, I asked them, are we recycling ink cartridges yet? And they told me, yes, we are doing that now. And Green Wave Electronics that takes our TVs and stuff, they have a trailer down at Public Works. And I talked to Tim Kubiak, and he's going to provide a container at the window where Wendy sets. And if you come in to bring ink cartridges, they're going to put it into a container there, and when that gets full, they're going to move it out to the trailer. And I also communicated with Lake County Solid Waste today, and they said that's fine. So anybody that's got ink cartridges, Tim didn't want us dropping the ink cartridges in the boxes in there, but he was concerned about the fact that somebody had put a TV in there and the ink cartridges would get busted and there'd be ink all over the place, so. So good cooperation with Tim Kubiak on that too.
Any update on the water lines for the fire and police department?
Well, we got the final permit, and we've ordered a storage tank. And then when we get that in, I had somebody ask me a question the other night, what is the size of the pipe going from the lighthouse well to our facility here, and it's 12 inches, and then going from the facility down to the fire and police, that's 8 inches, and then we're going to eventually hook up the park department, the town hall, and then it'll be the lighthouse will all be hooked up to that system. And eventually, when Schillings has their pipe corrected in Lakeside, then we'll start working on running that over to them.
Great.
So when does this
Anything
new,
else, Chuck?
so when does this new building open then?
It may be 2 months.
Okay.
Or longer.
The minimum is supposed to be 2 months, but it could be longer, depending on if something happens and beyond our control.
We're still dealing with the boil advisory on the east side water. That was only supposed to last a week.
And
We're
it's
going on 4
4
weeks.
And what's the holdup?
I didn't forget you, look.
We
One
ran
thing
into
after another.
problems.
One thing after another, because the pipe in the water tower's been up for a couple of years, so
Spring inspection.
just one thing after another. I got something, but I don't know if I should wait until public comment, because it's someone texted me who was asking a question, so.
Okay.
Do you want me to do it now, or wait till
You can.
public comment? This is from Bob Grosak. Sorry you can't be there. He asked about King Street being opened up for safety for the fire department to get in off 133rd to Beacon Point West. Is there,
I don't know what you're asking me that, I don't know.
I don't know. I'm just,
Yeah, I know that it's so close, that's it.
that's what he asked.
Have to check.
It would be nice to be open, I can tell you that much.
Well, I'll vote yes.
When you say storage tank for water, are you talking about in the building?
Treated.
Or,
No,
you said storage tank?
right, storage to treat it, I believe.
Yeah, but they need
That
a
would be at
tank
the well.
in order to have enough, water to send over there until we get the whole system looped, the way it's explained to me.
Thank you.
Okay, and Charlie covered A, the spring inspection for police and fire department. The board have anything else to say, anything?
No, sir.
Public comment?
Evening, Jacob from Dallfield, box 216, Cedar Lake. Here to ask about my agreements that I filed in July that you guys refused to talk about.
Okay. First of all, this isn't on the agenda.
Well, you were told by the council president to have several meetings with me several times, right?
Oh, he didn't
And
tell
you're-
me anything.
He didn't tell you anything?
Let me, we talked, just, hang on. We talked.
Correct?
At our last executive session,
Mhm.
this was talked with our attorney, and these gentlemen was here, present. Yeah, Dave Austin said that he would write you a letter concerning that.
So I get no say, I get nothing, I get nothing from you.
As I've told you before, and I'm...
You're here for the wellness of the fire department, police department, and you silence it.
Let
You
me,
wipe it under the rug.
let me, I'm only doing you, I don't have to respond to you, so...
You haven't responded to me in 8 months.
Tone down your attitude or you can sit down. If you'd like me to continue, you tone down your attitude.
Don't talk to me like I'm your child.
Okay, sit down.
Dang, that's disgraceful.
Public comment twice. Public comment 3 times. We're gonna be having a brief executive, session after we close. I declare the meeting adjourned.